Hello everybody, it is Kate. Today I am talking about another amazing, super fun movie. And that movie today is The Duff. Lots of thoughts about this movie. If you don't know, in the movie, Duff stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. Basically the whole movie is her trying to impress this boy that she likes and try to unbecome the Duff. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, we get introduced to our main characters. Our main girl, her name is Bianca, she's the Duff. She has two friends, her two best friends in the world, Jess and Casey. And Jess wants to be like a fashion designer, she's very nice, popular, whatever. Casey is a popular, mean hacker girl. So they've been best friends forever. Jess and Casey are really popular. Bianca is not, but she's very close friends with them. She never sees the issue with this. They don't see an issue with this, but apparently people in the school do because they're like, she's the Duff of the friend group. Blah, 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 to make like the other two look better, which is the most insane thing ever, and that's so evil and mean. And then we get introduced to our mean girl, the villain of the story. Madison, aka Bella Thorne. I have not heard that name in so long. Then we also meet Bianca's neighbor named Wesley. That's not his full name. His name's Wesley. People call him Wes. He's a very popular jock. He is on and off again dating Madison. Like, it just shows that they have like a semi-friendly, mean relationship where they're like mean to each other, but they've known each other for years because they've been neighbors since they were like babies. And then our final main character is Toby. Bianca's a crush on him for a really long time. He's like the cool guitar player, blah, 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 blah. And she's a huge crush on him, but she's always so scared to talk to him because she's not good at talking to people, which is totally fine. Later that day, there's a party, and Bianca was reluctantly dragged to the party by her two best friends. She goes off on her own because she's like, I don't want to dance and I don't really want to talk to people. Wes comes up to her and is like, hey, have either Jess or Casey talked about me? And she's like, no, I'm not going to tell you if they did. I'm not going to spill what my friends talk about to you. And he's like, but that's your job as a Duff. And she's like, what's a Duff? And he's like, Designated Ugly Fat Friend.
Yeah, it's actually not my job to give you pervy intel on my best friends, but thanks.
Well, I mean, it kind of is, though. People ask you questions about them, right? Because that's your job as their Duff. Designated Ugly Fat Friend.
He, like, goes on being like, no, it's you. Like, you're meant to make them look better, and blah, 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 blah.
You know, the one who doesn't look as good, thus making their friends look better.
I'm not even kidding. If someone said this to me, I would jump off a building. I would not handle this. I would not handle this. It's so crazy. And then she gets super, super upset because she's like, oh my gosh, so right, I'm the Duff, no one knows me, everyone knows my friends, and I'm just there by proxy, and I'm there to make them look better. And she's partially convinced that her friends did that on purpose. They didn't, they're very great and whatever, but she's convinced that that's what happened. So she, the next day at school, gets really mad at them and unfollows them on every single thing, and is like, I hate you guys, I'm never speaking to you again.
And don't you dare be creeping on my Pinterest, whores!
A little bit of an overreaction, especially if it's like some idiot asshole guy who's just like, yeah, you're kind of ugly. And then you're gonna be like, yeah, I hate my friends too now. That's crazy. And then Bianca goes to Wes and is like, listen, I hate you, but like at least you're an honest douchebag because you at least told me and no one else had the guts to tell me that I'm like the loser of my friend group. And he is failing like chemistry and he's gonna be like kicked off the football team if he doesn't pass chemistry. So she's like, listen, I'll help you pass chemistry if you help me not be a loser anymore so I can, what's his name? Toby. So Toby can like me. Wes and Bianca go to the mall to try to get her new clothes. While she's doing that, she does like the whole like fashion show thing. And then she's like talking about how she likes Toby so much and she does like some embarrassing stuff.
Toby, I'm really, really into you. Look at me, Toby. Don't look at me.
Turns out one of Madison, the bitch's friend, records this and posts it. Yeah, I would be dead. I would be dead. I would not go to school the next day. I would leave. I would kill myself. Like, that's it. Like, my life would be over. At school, everyone's like laughing at her and making fun of her because of this. And she thinks it's Wes because she was like, you're the only person who was there. But at the same time, it was like a really far away angle. So it's like, obviously it wasn't Wes, but whatever. So she's really mad at him. Everyone's making fun of her to the point where the principal and one of the teachers gets involved and takes everyone's phones away because this cyberbullying is so bad.
But these YOLO terrorists will not be tolerated.
Each student will be required to turn in their phone to their teachers and retrieve at the end of the day until we have gotten to the bottom of this.
No more.
So just like on top of everything, now everyone's losing their phones and it's because of her. So they hate her even more. But then Casey and Jess, even though they're not her friends anymore, they still really care about her. Casey, being a Miss Hacker girly, deletes the video and apparently no one had it saved. So it's completely gone now. Yay, good for her. Later that day, Wes goes over and is like, listen, I promise I wasn't the one who spread the video. I'm really sorry I didn't defend you, blah, 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 blah. She hits him in the face before this because she was just upset she thought he did it. And then he's like, you're not the only one who's been punching people. And being like, don't post that video. And then he's like, listen, you should just go talk to Toby. He's actually becoming really nice. Like, I was really upset when he started becoming nice because I was like, I don't want to like this guy. But he's like, listen, just tell Toby how you feel about him. Tell him, yeah, that video's embarrassing. If he's still weird after that, he's a loser. So she does that and Toby agrees. And he's like, do you want to come to my house tonight for dinner? She's got a date. Wes and Bianca like go and hang out, like they go to like the woods and just talk, and he's like, listen, this is how you're gonna act on the day, blah blah blah, you shouldn't be sitting here and you should be sitting here, blah 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 blah. They start really liking each other, they kiss, but then they're like, oh, just kidding, that was practice for tonight. But then she goes on the date and she goes to his house. He's not dressed up at all. She is in the cutest dress and oh my gosh, it's actually so sweet. So Wes sees her, like, because they're neighbors, obviously. He's like, oh, you don't look like you look beautiful, but you don't look like you. And then she's like, what?
You look good.
Good? Oh, that's really a rave review.
I just mean that you look good, but you don't look like you.
It's very sweet, but like also at the same time, it's like, girl, you're the one who told her to do this. She goes over to Toby's house. And Toby made a ton of sushi and stuff, and it's very nice. They eat, they have fun, but she just cannot stop thinking about Wes. She really likes Wes. And then like at the end, he sings her a song. It's really bad. He gets his attorney, like sings a song, and it's really awkward and it's not good.
I just want it to be the two of us.
He like asks about Jess and Casey, and then she realizes he's also just using her because she's the duff. And so she gets really upset and she's like, what do you mean? He was like, I thought they were gonna come to dinner tonight.
When you said that we should hang out Friday, I thought you were hinting that they were gonna be here. Like, I thought you were saying that they were into me.
She's like, okay, I hate you. So she's like storming off. And then as she's walking off, she sees a bag of from the sushi restaurant. So it's like he didn't even make the food. And he acted like he spent like hours and hours and hours on it. But then she leaves, she calls Wes, he's not responding, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't respond, so she's like, whatever. So she's gonna go to her, like, thinking rock. That's where they were earlier. And she was like, this is like a personal place where I could go to think. Him and Madison are there. So now she's like, this is the worst night of my life. The boy I liked for so long is using me. The boy I just started liking doesn't like me and is using the place that I think is very special to me and where I get all my problems out, and he's there with someone else. This poor girl, like this would be my wit's end. I would be like, okay, I'm literally never speaking to anyone again. I'm gonna become a hermit in my home. And then Wes comes over and is like, I saw the text, and she's like, I don't even care, I saw you at the Rock.
I'm sorry about Toby. Okay, he's an idiot.
You know, I saw you and Madison. You were at my special place. You know, that's my Think Rock.
And he's like, you were on a date, why couldn't I? And she's like, that's my special thinking rock. That's where I go to like process emotions and stuff. Like she was talking about how like she did that whenever her parents got a divorce. And like their conversation was very sad and emotional, so it's like even worse because she was like talking about like how hard the divorce was with her parents, and then he's like, okay, cool. And then like the next day he brings someone else there. Very sad for her. So then Bianca like realizes that she's super depressed, so she makes up with Jess and Casey, and she's like, they have like a really long talk where she's like, I felt like the duff, I felt like y'all were just using me to make you guys look better. I'm really sorry, it was really horrible of me, I miss you guys so much. They're like, listen, we weren't doing that, we're just friends, like we don't think of you that way. That's ridiculous. And why would you even listen to what he said? So then they're like, come on, you should go to homecoming. Like, we want you to go to homecoming. I know you don't want to, but you should totally go. So they make her a dress. Jess makes her a dress because Jess is a fashion designer. So she makes her a dress out of like her favorite like materials. Like she wears a lot of like flannels. So she makes the dress out of flannel. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. They all go to the dance. Wes went with Madison, but he's like, oh my goodness, she looks so pretty.
Wow, you look beautiful.
And then, like, she goes up to him and she's like, I really like you. And you told me that I should just tell someone if I like them, so I'm going to.
A guy I know once told me that if you like somebody, you should just be straight up with them.
He's like, I just got back together with Madison. Oh no! So she's like, oh, okay. And then Madison comes over and she's like, I'm gonna post another embarrassing video of you at the mall. And she's like, okay, I don't care, do it. Do it, bitch. Like, I do not care. I've been through hell. Like, everyone already thinks I'm a loser, so why would it matter if they saw another video? So she's like, oh. She goes back to her friends and she's like, yeah, the conversation went really well. I hate Madison and I gotta tell her that. Homecoming king and queen are crowned. Madison gets homecoming queen and Wes gets homecoming king, but instead of going up to the stage to get his crown, he turns his little body around and walks up to Bianca and is like, girl, and they make out. That's the end of the movie. I wish I didn't get together with him. He was such a jerk in the beginning. Like, the whole movie is him being like, yeah, girl, you need better style. Like, that's so mean. And also, it's like, you guys have been neighbors for, like, nearly 2 decades, and you're just learning that she's cool. I don't know, I just didn't like it, because, like, the whole thing is about her being, like, ugly and fat and unattractive and how no boy wants her, but she's, like, stunning. Like, actually, it just felt kind of mean-spirited, the whole movie, because it was basically just being like, yeah, even if you're fat and ugly, you can get a hottie, and you can like yourself, even if you're fat and ugly. I would not call this a rom-com, it's more of, like, a sad... I don't know. I couldn't think of a joke. That is literally the end of the movie. Not much happened. It should have at least ended without her getting together with the guy who called her a duff in the first place. Like, obviously he apologized and he was like, the duff isn't necessarily ugly or fat, it's just the name. Screw you. So mean. Seriously, if someone called me that, I would never forgive them. Ever. In my entire life. My 90th birthday party, I would still not let them RSVP. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and comment and subscribe, because if you don't, someone's gonna say something really hurtful to you and then they're gonna make you fall in love with them. So, okay. Bye, everybody. See you next week.